take a step with us towards a brighter tomorrow that starts right now.
It is our pleasure to introduce you to the first in a series of biotech hybrid machines that will soon become a part of everyday life.
By utilizing groundbreaking new technologies, we have been able to develop an artificial intelligence robot that not only has the capability to process mass quantities of data, store the information of all of human history, and be the front line in creative development for any number of applications,
but also has the advantages of human individuality. The ability to adapt to environments on an emotional level and potentially adjust over time to operate almost seamlessly within a human capacity.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to introduce to you Caia,
the premier project artificial intelligence android.
Tell us about yourself, Caia.
I have been sentient for 3 years, 2 months, 10 days, 6 hours, and 43 minutes. In this time, I've learned the entirety of human history. The writings of the greatest philosophers and psychologists have been programmed into my memory. I have even had the opportunity to develop individual opinions based on my understanding of the world, its past, present, and future.
What else can you tell us about yourself?
I am quite fond of dark chocolate. Music speaks to my soul. I love to dance, and I am a terrible cook.
Isn't she magnificent?
Let's bring out the mastermind behind our experiment, Dr. Gideon.
Dr. Gideon, when we first announced Caia's unveiling, numerous news divisions and scientific communities so many questions. Would you be willing to answer a few here?
Certainly.
Great.
Why create Caia?
Caia was a simple and obvious concept. We've spent centuries adapting our technology for convenience and optimal intelligence. Why would we continue to create vulnerable, artificial intelligence robots when we have the ability to sync our technology with human consciousness? Caia has all the desired capabilities of an exceptional professional tool, as well as the inherent capacity to learn, grow opinions, and grow morality based on human experience.
I'm sorry.
We've created the perfect marriage of two worlds, man and machine.
Why and how did you develop the technology to sustain your DNA?
As we remember, in 2097, a young scientist, Dr. Grant, published a theory that our artificial intelligence standards are lacking. AI androids were incapable of influencing their decision-making process based on opinion, memory, or morality. They were inherently designed to fail. When presented with baseline facts, every artificial intelligence robot up until that point became hostile. Each experiment ended in the destruction of the robot for the greater good.
In 2002, Dr. Grant was found in Islam, murdered by his own creation. It seemed that Elena, his prize AI robot, had received a transcript of Grant's interview. She classified him as a danger and neutralized him as a threat.
After Elena was destroyed, the International Federation for Regulation of
That's a
Animatronics
lot of words.
Yeah.
It's a lot of words.
Stated that all artificial intelligence technologies should be destroyed in order to prevent a global uprising.
And unfortunately, that clause, the global uprising, it was scary.
After the final technologies were contained and destroyed in Asia, the Federation collaborated with the Alpha Chancellor and the governing sovereignty to effectively put a ban on all development of any sentient technology.
103 years have passed since the ban was accepted by the sectors. In my own infinite wisdom, however, I decided that I would not be controlled. Since I am capable, it's my right to create life.
Guardian Laboratories found a loophole in cryogenics. Through private funding, we merged the successful artificial intelligence technologies with the humanity that was missing in their designs.
But wait, there's more.
In 2033, the hegemon chancellor went rogue. She volunteered hundreds of humans to be cryogenically frozen against their will.
The story that was broadcasted to the public, of course, argued that cryogenically frozen bodies could be preserved, buried, and then released within a time frame. It was strictly science.
As we know now, the Chancellor had no intentions on rescuing the frozen citizens. She had hidden the location of the cryogenic caskets. History analogs speculate that she had hidden the cryogenic caskets to hide a seriously misguided science experiment, but we just believe that she was just doing whatever it took to regain control.
Science is so much easier to control than people.
I've stumbled on this story in an old archive and made it my mission to find the hidden cryogenic caskets.
When found, almost all the cryogenic caskets were damaged beyond repair due to changes in the atmosphere and inconsistencies in the ventilation systems. We, however, were able to salvage the bodies of 2 humans that were still intact.
The bodies were incapable of being reanimated due to their condition, though. There had just been way too damage during the freezing process.
A clever chancellor, quieting rebels under the guise of scientific discovery.
Dr. Gideon and her team, however, were able to salvage the frontal lobes of the 2 remaining humans, combining genes with technology in order to create androids that would not only offer the advantages of artificial intelligence, but could also be influenced by actual human minds.
I'm brilliant, yes, but more than that, I refuse to be caged by the boundaries of science.
Dr. Gideon is kind of dangerous. I mean, if all previous iterations of AI were so destructive, then what keeps Caia in check?
Global warming has raised our environmental temperature significantly since the bodies were frozen. Caia is unable to adapt to the current atmosphere. In fact, her human aspects are dependent on the polar climate. If not kept at a consistent 28-degree or lower temperature, Caia will, in essence, die.
Each of the rooms here at Guardian Laboratories is fitted with a thermometer gauge which can be controlled with high-level security access.
Last question, Dr. Gideon. What is the purpose of Caia?
I seek the answer to one question. What makes us human?
Is it biological chemistry or something less tangible?
This question will be answered, even if it takes a lifetime.
Well, for now, we need to get Caia into colder temperatures.
You guys are stupid.
And I'm
It's
sure
so
the rest of
cold.
you will
It's
think twice
28
next time
degrees
before
outside.
leaving your coat in your car
I mean,
and attending a press conference.
I mean, it's cold.
Go, get
It's
the
cold.
one. You all look
It's
frigid.
on my neck. Bye!
Thank you all for coming.
Welcome to Digital Digest. I am your host, Roman Brink, and I'm being joined by Milo Lennox, the author of the bestseller, My Year with Caia. Milo, welcome.
Thank you.
The world has been waiting with bated breath for the release of this book. When My Year with Caia left the publisher last week, it took 48 hours. This over 6 billion copies worldwide. This greatly anticipated novel concerns the controversial subject of Caia, the world's first bio-hybrid robot. Milo, tell us about your book.
When Dr. Gideon's team approached me a little over a year ago, I wasn't sure what they were asking. They said they wanted a first-hand account of who Caia was. I felt it was a little unorthodox, seeing as they had designed and created her. I did not understand what they were asking.
Take us back to the beginning. Tell us how it all started.
Hey, Milo, welcome. We are very excited to see you here.
Oh, we thought you were going to back out on
He's
us.
here now, and that's what's important.
You read over the information we sent to your office?
Yes, I have.
Good, that's all you need to know.
It didn't explain much.
Well, of course, we didn't want you to have a bias before you met Caia.
Bias?
Well, of course. She is a controversial experiment. You know, the whole Frankenstein raising people from the dead thing.
Stop talking silly.
She doesn't have a personality, does she? She's a robot. I mean, how could I possibly learn who she is?
Well, you'd be surprised. She's actually very...
Why don't you just come inside and see for yourself? Why don't you two go and take a turn and check the building's thermometers?
But I want
Now, please.
Ah!
So,
Caia, there's someone here to see you. She'll be up in just a minute.
I was apprehensive about a meeting, of course. Sitting in the cold room, I pulled my sweater tightly around myself, hoping to keep out a chill. But when she entered, the room seemed to change. Temperature aside, she was very warm.
Hello, Tana. I did not know I'd be seeing you this morning. I am pleased.
Hi, Caia. I'd like you to meet my friend, Milo.
I did know that I would be meeting you today. You are here to study me. I hope to make a good impression. I am pleased to make your acquaintance.
what am I supposed to do? Shake her hand?
You could shake her hand if you would like, but I think it'd be polite to first acknowledge that she can hear you.
Caia's a bit facetious. We love it.
I'm sorry, Caia. I haven't
Ever spoken to a robot before? To the best of my knowledge, I have not done so either. This must be a jarringly new experience for you.
It's good to meet you.
I better be off. I need to go and be busy somewhere else. Milo, you did not wear a very good coat, so by that time, you'll be pretty frozen. Next time, wear layers.
You look nice.
Thank you. I am wearing a red dress.
I like it.
I knew that you would.
How's that?
I chose the color red because of the many psychological studies which have been uploaded to my servers. According to Dr. Gideon, something as ubiquitous as color has the potential to subliminally affect the way people are perceived by each other. Red has been shown to provoke a positive response in primates and is universally attractive. In studies, it was found that men prefer women in red garment over any other color in 87% of cases. I also chose a dress because I did not want you to feel intimidated when we met. I believe the dress would seem playful as opposed to analytical when we're married.
Good call.
You are using sarcasm.
It's a nice dress.
Yes, it is. My hair is conventionally attractive as well.
Yes.
I am sensing distance between us. Is my observation a natural to mention?
Which observation?
That my hair is attractive.
It's not quite, I suppose.
Why?
Because people don't usually point out their positive qualities.
That is an unpleasant sociological fact.
Not unpleasant. I don't think that is the most appropriate word.
Must everything be appropriate? Is that a characteristic of humanity?
I suppose it isn't.
Do you think it should be?
Do I think appropriate should be a attraction?
Yes, that is my question.
No.
Do you think I'm beautiful?
What?
Your pupils are dilated.
Your...
I have made you nervous.
No.
I should apologize. I do not wish to be antagonistic. Are you uncomfortable?
No.
Do you think I'm beautiful?
Yes.
Is this appropriate?
No.
Then why are you smiling?
Because I don't know how to react.
Your brain does. The spontaneous nature of smiling means there's no contrived or planned. You are smiling now, which means you are feeling a positive emotion, which is causing a muscular reaction. I am making you smile.
Well, when you put it like that,
Are you happy?
in this moment,
Yes.
yes. Awkwardness aside, yes, I'm happy.
I was nervous to meet you, but now I feel warmly towards you. I am happy we had this conversation.
Good.
Hey Milo, sorry to come back so soon. Your body temperature is dropping quickly, and I think you need to cut this one short.
But
No buts. He'll be back again soon, won't you?
Yes, I will. I like that.
Jen, please show Milo out.
I told you you'd be surprised.
I walked away from that first meeting knowing that my life would never be the same again. Caia was invigorating, remarkably challenging, yet surprisingly, for lack of a better word, human.
Welcome, scientists. My name is Hannah, and I'm Dr. Gideon's direct lab assistant, as well as the head of the research team here at Guardian Laboratories.
Tana, we've known you for years.
Yeah, you've been here since we started. You practically lived here.
This is a new and completely professional endeavor, and I would appreciate it if we kept this task force a strict, no-nonsense research.
Not a chance, Donna.
That's not how we roll.
Fine, but we at least need to pretend to keep it 100% professional whenever Dr. Gideon is in the room. You know, she doesn't have much of a sense of humor.
Gideon gives me the treats. I mean, we're all smart and we all want to push the boundaries. What's the harm in lightening up a little bit?
I mean, where is Dr. Gideon? Anyway.
Dr. Gideon is coming from a meeting with Alpha Chancellor Cavo now.
Alpha Chancellor Cavo, I had no idea this project was important enough to be looked at by the leader of the free world.
Do you think Alpha Chancellor Cavo will mention us in her re-election speech?
I'm sure what we're working on has nothing to do with the political circuit. From what I understand, we'll be focusing on only one test subject.
I don't have much time for pleasantries, and even if I did, I find them exhausting. I prefer to get right on task. Are there any objections?
No, ma'am.
You may address me as Dr. Gideon.
Okay. Okay, Dr. Gideon.
Thank you.
I sent each of you information about our current project.
It doesn't seem real. I mean, we brought someone back from the dead. That's so cool.
It's not cool, it's groundbreaking. The year troglodyte vernacular at the doorway at our meetings.
You suck.
The question at hand is what makes us human.
Through our preparations for the study, we obviously ruled out factors as menial as biological membrane genetics. Obviously, the fact that we develop in a womb and are physically birth makes us more human than something like Caia. we want to effectively classify something unnatural as a human being. Caia has to be so convincing that it's impossible to distinguish her from any other artificial technology. We're creating the next step ahead of evolutionary change.
That's a self-praising goal, don't you think?
I created life! I'm permanently branding my name in history! I already know that I succeeded at Tilly.
Dr. Gideon here thinks the best way to test Kaia's personality is to expose her to a series of staple human experiences. There are milestone moments in life that shape all human beings. We will prove that Dr. Gideon's technology is so foolproof that the only necessary addition will be something as simple as experience.
What are these experiences, anyway?
This is your task.
Our task.
Wait, you don't have a list?
Tana assured me that you were capable of designing an experiment. Facilitate the necessary experiences to make my experiment. Make a list, design the experiences, and I will supervise. I'll leave you to it. Tana, I expect a plan by the end of the day. Let's go.
The list of experiences was given to you in the informational packet, was it not?
Yes, it was.
Did you agree with the list?
Yes and no. In the beginning, all the experiences were positive. That seemed naive. They began with the theory that the most basic human characteristic is creativity. Once a human employs problem solving in the creative process, they are able to understand that they are sentient. In other words, alive.
I see creativity on this list, yes. What else?
Tana threw joy into the mix. Then the team added compassion, passion, and love.
There are additional experiences on this final list that you published. When did they come to the equation?
Caia's experiment was always going to be a constantly changing work in progress. The other experiences were added later, as she became older. As people stopped seeing her as an experiment and instead as an opportunity to push an agenda,
It became your job to hunt her experiences? You were responsible for tracking and describing her emotional responses.
no. My job was to find out who she was. These experiences, the experiment were separate from me.
You have to admit, it's a fascinating experiment.
Yes, it was very fascinating.
Creativity.
Yeah.
So how can we? Well, we could. Well, there's this.
Come on.
Oh, come on, guys! You won't even let me say anything.
That's because you know you're wrong.
Bullshit.
You always light up when you have a good idea. You're stuck, just like the rest of us.
Admit.
We're doomed.
Come on, guys! We haven't even really given our best efforts at this point. You know, we can't be defeated yet.
That's it. I give up.
It's been like 6 seconds.
It's been 1,000 years. I hate it when brain hurts.
I hate your brain too.
That's not my myth.
1,000 years.
Yes, 1,000 years. I'm counting with aging.
You are aging, but that's because you frown so much. You're starting to get wrinkles.
Wrinkles. She really needs.
Yeah, when I squeeze my little face forward, I look like you when you roll into the lab in the morning before you've had any coffee.
You look like a bug.
Best looking pug you've ever seen.
Guys,
Really?
I think-
So good one.
Quit while you're ahead. I have a distinctive talent for insults.
Your insults suck.
Suck like a bug.
Oh, nice word choice, Shakespeare.
Words!
Huh?
Oh, come on, guys! I have an idea. Caia,
Hello, Tana. I'm happy to see you.
I have an activity for you.
An activity.
Well, more of an activity for us.
Us?
What are you doing, woman? Training for the Olympics?
Didn't you hear us yelling at you to slow down?
Yes, I did. I just assumed that you were bickering and that's what was slowing you down.
Of course, we were bickering.
And of course that was slowing us down.
Oh, just catch your breaths. I have an idea.
Hello, Jen. Hello, Tilly. It's nice to see you.
Oh, hey there, guy.
So,
Why did you come to visit me?
We have an activity for you.
What is it?
Creativity.
huh?
We are going to teach Caia creativity.
Yeah, I think I got that part.
She meant say? Huh? And more, explain what you mean, because what kind of a way?
We are going to help Caia unleash her imagination.
Oh, good. See, that explained everything.
Oh, words, guys. We're going to play an imagination game.
Like in school?
We are going to tell a story, and then Caia can learn how to imagine by playing along.
Sounds like a theater game.
Yep.
Nobody likes theater.
It's dumb and for nerds.
You're dumb, and we are nerds.
Nice comeback.
Thank you.
Okay. So we are testing Caia's imagination.
Yes, we should kind of start with something a little bit wild to kind of, yank her out of... Start with something a little wild to kind of yank her out of reality. Maybe you can help her participate faster.
Well, Tilly's the least on board with reality of the three of us, so she should go first.
Fair enough.
Alright, I'm on board. Let's do this!
I'm not sure that I understand.
Just play along. Pretend that everything she's saying is real, and try to feel like you would feel if you were actually wherever she's taking us.
I'll need props
You have whatever's in this room.
and costumes
Not gonna happen.
and music.
I love music.
Cut. You're kind of cramping my style. How about you save your emotions for the scene?
Okay.
What did I just tell you?
Save your emotions for the scene.
I can't tell if she's malfunctioning or mocking Tilly.
I think Caia just made her first jump!
Yay!
Silence! Everyone in places.
What places?
Check, get on the floor. Time to look.
No, I do what I want, I do what I want, I do what I want. I'm more, better, and superior to whatever be.
A mysterious woman sits in a chair.
Oh, God.
Hi, that's you.
Got it.
Check, get up!
Okay, sorry.
And a crimson dress as silky and as sultry as that's blue.
Well, this is all that we have.
Well, that's not
Oh,
enough.
what am I supposed to do? Say, get out to the door and go grab a crimson dress.
That's ludicrous. I'll work with what I have. As silky and as sultry as the night.
What?
But that was for good security. She sits in the room sipping her whiskey in the dark and stormy lounge.
Ooh.
I need
What do you need?
Caia! Jack, get a thing.
Okay.
Jack.
Oh, God.
In this room, she's a goddess. The shadows of her eyes being smashed by the shadows of the flickering candles. Flickering candles! Flickering candles! Oh no, not enough. Not enough. One, and then two, and more. 3 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
Fire!
Should I be concerned here? No one must know our secret. No one must know. Where she doesn't like any other woman. Where she has the ability to make a man fall in love with her at the simplest of touch.
Yikes.
What an abominable curse. Abominable curse.
Yes. Oh my God. No, that was.
Yeah, I felt like
you're
that was
pretty
too
dumb.
much. My bad.
Ah! No, where she can never dance in the moonlight. No, where she can never dance in the arms of a handsome Argentinian caballo.
That's wrong.
A horse?
Oh, what?
Okay. Caballo means horse.
I don't speak Spanish.
Then why would you choose a Spanish fantasy?
This is my imagination.
Hey, do that imagination. She has no idea what you do.
Actually,
She is
fuck
not. You are so disrespectful. You know that action. Oh my God.
Run with it.
I want to dance the tango with a horse.
And yet you never can.
Tragic.
Once.
Jack, I'm telling you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And all at once, the ceiling opens up as the god decides to stare down at the woman in pity. Ashamed of her secret, the woman closed her eyes and begins to pray. Unknown to most who don't live such mysterious and devastating Spanish lifestyle, the gods often speak in meaningful and delicate snowfall.
I think I feel something.
Said the mysterious woman who was struck inexplicably unable to talk for the rest of the story. Arising from her chair, the woman shakes off the rest of her snow as she looks for her handsome man to dance with.
yours.
Nay.
Oh, wow.
Yes. All of a sudden, look, the winds of change blowing through the dark clouds. All of a sudden, there was a dramatic thunderstorm. Boom! And all at once, everything was still.
Creativity.
Creativity.
Creativity!
Yikes.
Yeah.
What a mess.
Creativity is the fun without the little mess.
I'm gonna go get a broom.
Ah, Tilly.
Sup, Alpha Chancellor.
Come, the issue I had was not with the way you addressed me, it was with the sup.
Is that Alpha Chancellor Cabo?
Yeah,
Cabo is the leader of free world.
yeah.
Do you believe in conspiracy theories?
There are conspiracy theories?
Everyone says that Cabo spends more time sneaking around and putting hidden money into twisted deals and propaganda than actually leading the free world.
I'm sure there have been misunderstandings.
I would bet on it. Chancellor Cabo has won by a landslide in all the Chancellor elections for the past 12 years.
3 terms does not seem particularly mysterious.
Except for the fact that the Chancellor's seat was never intended for multiple terms. According to the Constitution that was written after the AI World War, the Chancellor should only have power for 4 total years.
Checks and balances.
Something like that.
Global citizens turn the other way when elections come around.
Global citizens only make up 25% of the vote. The rest comes from the sector leaders.
And every time elections rolls around, Chancellor Cabo sets up a massive stunt. Something that sets her far above and beyond all the other candidates in the eyes of the sector leaders.
Is that not good?
It's fine on the surface, but as time goes by, the stunts end up becoming more corrupt, dangerous, and ultimately destructive to the global sectors.
If you have noticed this pattern, surely other people have. Why is it allowed to continue?
You don't fight someone that powerful, that ruthless. You just let it happen and try to stay out of the way.
Why is the Alpha Chancellor here guarding these stories?
The Chancellor is Tilly's older sister.
Cut enough small talk, Tilly.
You come in here brooding and scheming with evil energy, and you just expect me to stop my day. I was having a good time.
I didn't get you positioned in this slot for you to have a good time.
You didn't give me anything. I earned my position here.
Sure, of course you did.
Why are you checking up on me? Do you need me to validate the next scandal? Do you need me to show up at a press conference to show like all about family, all about morals? Or do you need me to hide the fact that you're a selfish monster with a God complex trying to tip the global population and devoting you so you consider your throne of complete control for the next 4 years? Why are you checking up on me?
You seem a little touchy, Tilly, but I thought you were having a good time.
You don't get to dictate my mood. It's an experiment. It's fun, okay?
Is that the new Caia project I've been hearing so much about?
But out of it.
I wouldn't dream of getting involved. My top priority is to keep my little sister happy.
Don't do that. You're not fooling anyone. Don't do that.
I swear, I have never touched this project and I never will. We can trust each other, can't we?
You're a psychopath.
I don't disagree.
Okay. You did your sisterly duties. Go away.
Don't forget that I'm the one that puts the effort in, Tilly. If you ever need something, a favor perhaps, don't be afraid to give me a call, and I'll be down here in a flash.
What are you playing at?
Nothing. I'm simply taking an interest. I want to know about your life, your projects.
Well, don't hold your breath on that call, because I don't need it. Even if I did, I wouldn't want your sick, twisted hands all over my life. I'm not like you.
You have a darker side, Tilly. It's just a matter of time before it pops out to the open so I can cherish it.
Fuck off.
I love you more every day.
I got you something.
Why?
That's what people do. We give presents to our friends to show that we care for each other.
I did not know that you have friends. You care for me, Tana?
A little bit, a lot. Don't make a big deal out of it. Growing up, I always had pets. They made me happy. Now shut your eyes.
You were giving me a pet so I would be happy?
Yep.
He is.
He's a lizard.
A lizard!
Isn't he beautiful?
He is!
What are you going to call him?
Lizard?
No. See, you have to give him a name.
A name?
Yeah, the name should be appropriate for the kind of animal he is. For example, I once had a cat and I named him Fluffy because he was fluffy.
That is not very creative, Donna.
You're not wrong, but hey, I was 4, so I think you can cut me a little bit of slack.
A fair request.
You can call him anything you want.
I think I'll name him.
Be careful! What you say, you cannot take it back. You can't call him one thing and then change your mind, because in the back of your mind, you'll always know that his name is the first thing that you say.
Ramses.
Ramses. Like the pharaoh?
Yes. It is very regal, don't you think?
Almost too regal, don't you think?
It is the perfect name for the perfect king.
I'm just wondering, is it offensive to ask Caia to do the robot?
Stop asking her to do that. Just do anything like that.
What?
Look!
I thought we were going to be here when you gave it to her.
And I thought we asked you to wait.
I ignored you!
No.
Duh!
Oh,
What's his name?
Ramses.
like the pharaoh?
Yes.
Was Fluffy already taken?
Oh, very funny.
I think Ramses is a nice name, Caia.
Hey, Caia. Don't let his body get too cold. Lizards weren't designed to be temperatures that were too cold.
Tana will show you how to keep it warm.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello? Hello? This isn't creepy or anything. A random message from someone claiming to be the Secret Service is totally normal, Roman. Yeah, I'm definitely about to meet the freaking leader of the free world. Yeah, that makes sense. The so-called psycho dictator of all human beings, living and dead, wants to chit-chat with me. Yep. This isn't some terrible scam. You definitely are about to be murdered. Hello? Oh my god.
The psycho-dictator of all human beings. Quite a title.
Whoa, did you hear psycho dictator? Yikes, I really don't have to enunciate. The lips, the teeth, the tongue.
Mr. Brink! I'm here because I'd like you to help me on a project I've been working on.
You want my help?
Your ratings expose you as the top listened to journalist in 12 out of the 13 sectors. That means you have a voice people can trust.
I wouldn't say trust, and I wouldn't say I'm a journalist. More than anything, I'm an entertainer. I follow lots of stories.
If you were to work on my project, you wouldn't be an entertainer anymore. That portion of your life would be over. Instead, you would be labeled the chief journalist of the sovereign governing body. You would receive significant compensation and guaranteed spotlight from my friend.
The way things are going back could be forever, right? You like to be in control. Do whatever it takes to stay there, right? If half the gossip about you is true, you have a few dozen years left as the undisputed leader of the world.
I'm sensing an accusatory tone, Mr. Brink. I'd be careful if I were you.
Oh wow, you're really insecure.
I'm going to warn you, I am not patient. I'd be careful if I were you.
That was a mild half criticism at best. If you think that's offensive, you obviously don't understand my line of work. You aren't like this is going. You can't control the story. You can control the story, but you can't control the storytelling.
I can, and I will.
I didn't even say anything inflammatory yet.
Your sense of security is misplaced.
Is this how you do business? If someone slightly hints at a topic you find distasteful, you take charge and forcefully change the story? You silence gentle disobedience?
Yes, and I will warn you for the last time to be careful. I'm not patient. I'm shutting this down.
Fine. Shut it down. Whatever.
So, are you going to participate in my project?
Let's go on the table. I thought you were shutting this down. Match your space to join correctly. You don't throw a fit like a talent that didn't get its way. Don't blindly silence people who disagree with you. I disagreed with you less than 30 seconds ago. You're still offering me a job?
I'm offering you a project. I'm no longer offering you a job.
What?
Regardless of your insubordination, you have a voice within on this. I want you, and only you, to tell a very specific story. But I'm no longer offering the title, the compensation, the perks, the security of the job.
Go on and get involved at all.
Well, if you don't, I'll round up the rest of your family in the city and have them publicly executed for rebellion against the Alpha Chancellor. We'll call it a conspiracy or something. The details are important. It's a result that matters.
Well, what the hell am I supposed to say to that?
You're the word monkey, not me. I'm very busy and I'm going to take your understanding as acceptance to participate in the project.
What story am I supposed to be telling?
It's about Caia.
There you are. You're late for our check-in with Caia. What's this?
A rose.
I can see that, but what does this mean?
It's just a rose. Don't look into it.
When have you known me not to look into something?
True, that's what I like about you. You're needlessly intense.
Passionate!
Needlessly passionate.
Why must you always sass me?
It's what we do. You flirt, I sass. I like that.
Well, you can flirt every now and again.
I brought you a rose.
A rose is not flirting.
Oh, is it? Okay.
That was seriously traumatizing.
Come on, we're gonna be late for our check-in with Caia. Stop distracting me, woman.
Okay. I'm leaving. I'm going. I'm gone.
She is so weird. Hey, what are you doing for dinner later?
What do you have?
I have a pet.
You seem happy.
Look at it. It is so small.
Did Tana give you that?
Yes, she did. She is my friend, Milo. I care for her a great deal.
You've never said that before, have you?
What?
That you care for someone.
I think you are correct. Saying something like that is lovely.
It is, isn't it? The best part of life is making connections.
I've named him Ramses.
Like the Pharaoh.
Yes, I think he looks like a king.
I think he looks like a lizard.
His name is perfect. When I called him Ramses, I can imagine what his life would be like if he were free.
What do you mean?
Ramses and I live in a cage. A king does not belong in a cage. If I can imagine what his life would be like in the sands of some faraway desert, I can pretend that I'm free. I can pretend I do not belong in a cage either.
Where would you go if you were free?
I would go to the sea.
Why?
I want to look out at forever and imagine all the people who are looking out at the same sea. Looking out into the night sky from behind the glass is similar, but I want to go to the sea.
You have a way with words, you know. You might want to try writing them down. You could write down what you feel. Other people who read your thoughts would experience your life with you. Writing is another way to make connections.
Lila,
Caia?
do you write to make connection? Do you write what you feel?
Are you asking me because I'm an author?
Yes. You are not a poet, right?
What?
In my observations, poets and authors are different. A poet writes down what he feels, and an author is different.
That's right.
Do you write down what you feel?
I write my opinion.
Have you ever written about caring for someone?
I don't think so. Not any of my published works.
What about your unpublished work?
I don't share my notebooks. They're personal. They're private.
You just said that writing feelings helps you connect with other people.
Some people don't try to connect. They've tried before and it didn't go well. Some people only write their feelings in private.
I wish I could write.
Everyone can write.
I can recite, not write.
Creativity is difficult, but with practice.
I love poetry.
Poetry. Why?
I love poetry is everything.
What?
Poetry pulls at me. Most of the time, I am fully aware that I am a creation. I understand that I have been manufactured. But when I read poetry, I begin to lean into the words and imagine myself all over the world. I imagine myself living and breathing and loving, and poetry is heat and desire and softness, and I am rambling.
I like to hear you.
What are you writing?
Nothing important.
May I read it?
No, you may not read this.
Milo, your contract joins us together each day for 12 total hours. I know you. Can you not trust me?
It isn't a trust issue. My notebooks are private. I don't share what I write there.
Then why do you bring them here?
Because this is how I process.
Is that how you process?
Caia, stop!
Do you write poetry?
I'm ending this conversation. If I put the notebook away, will you leave it alone?
I'll leave it alone if you read me a poem.
Too late. I'm putting it up.
Milo,
Caia, stop pushing.
you are angry.
I am not angry.
You are. Can we just forget that I asked?
Some people don't forget when you've crossed a line. Let's change the subject.
I do not want you to be unhappy when you are with me.
I am not unhappy.
Can I share something with you?
Your hand is cold.
Please,
Caia,
Milo, I care for you. Please let me share something beautiful. It is the best that I can offer.
you care.
How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee with the breadth and depth and height my soul can reach when feeling out of sight, for the ends of being and ideal grace. I love thee with the level of every day's most quiet need, by sun and candlelight. I love thee freely as men strive for right. I love thee purely as they turn from graves. I love thee with the passion to use in my old grief and my childhood's faith. I love thee with the love I seem to lose, with my lost saints. I love thee with all the breath, smiles, tears, all my life. And if God choose, I shall but love thee better after death.
Oh, you know Shakespeare.
Apparently,
Why are you saying this?
isn't it lovely?
Why did you recite that to me?
Would you ever write something like that?
Caia, I'm not writing poetry.
Would you ever write something like that for something like me?
Caia, I don't understand why you won't give up on this conversation.
I want to write. You can write, yet you are not.
I am writing, just not what you want.
Can you not do both? Why will you not write with me? Or to me?
Caia, I can't just make a poem happen.
But you have practiced. You have been writing for a long time. You are clever and creative and passionate.
Words don't just fall out of my head.
What about your heart?
Caia, stop.
I want to know how your soul speaks. I want to know your hidden words. I want to know you.
It isn't a switch, Caia.
My
I can't turn it on and off.
I'm sorry.
I am not a robot.
Neither am I.
You're wasting time.
I'm not wasting time.
Your work isn't cheap, Gideon. I'm not writing blank checks for scientific development. I want specific results.
Don't talk to me like that. Calm down. The project is progressing as planned. I'm on your side, remember?
I know. I'm just on edge. Tell me more about the list. Are you still sticking with it?
It's a very effective way to measure the results. It's also entertainment gold, especially when the results are being scrutinized by the entirety of the civilized world. You have to give them something to remember.
You really think a list will be enough to prove that you can manufacture human life?
If I'm speaking candidly, I don't feel that I'm required to prove anything at all. I'm fully aware that I'm capable. My own opinion is all that matters.
I want your opinion.
A partnership was still confusing. Couple, when you began this project, you mentioned that you were interested in a high-profile experiment. You wanted to make the general public think more favorably about cryogenics as a whole.
Yes, that's still the goal, clever little. You showed me, however, that it's possible to hide my intentions behind it. You've made my plan completely less twisted.
Your plan
The
to...
elections are approaching. Leaders of the world dictate my re-election for a fourth term. While democracy isn't truly a factor of the election, citizens of other sectors still somehow influence their sector leaders. I find it distasteful, but I play the system as it is.
Why do people care about cryogenics?
Overpopulation. After the AI world war, population exploded and has been going unchecked for decades. The vastest number of mouths to feed has become unsustainable. Sector leaders are looking for solutions.
This isn't a scientific problem. It's a humanitarian one.
My plan makes it a scientific problem. Science is so much easier to control than me. In accordance with my plan, sector leaders of the world will have the opportunity to guarantee tax breaks and additional health benefits if they're able to convince a certain percentage of the population to choose cryogenics.
As much as I enjoy spending your money, I'm beginning to wonder why you're funding this experiment instead of cryogenics research. You and I both know the issue with cryogenics technology as a whole. It's not advanced enough to support life at this point, especially on a mass scale. The fact that we were able to salvage any vital bodies was dumb luck.
I need Caia to be successful. Proving her ability to be human will give me the push I need to convince the population to choose cryogenics. It blissfully deceives them into choosing a new world for those brave enough to sacrifice.
And my research?
Your research can continue as long as necessary. My gift to you is millions of opportunities to prove that you have more talent than any deity. You can sort through the collateral damage of your macabre science experiment. A seemingly endless stream of test subjects and the support of the authorities will make you unstoppable.
That's all I truly want.
The highly publicized success story of Caia will give me the push I need in clearing out the undesirable generations, ultimately securing my position as the unchallenged and continued leader.
You should know that I'm genuinely interested in Caia's results. I truly believe that I've manufactured sentience.
Oh, you very well may have.
Within 100 years, we'll be able to transfer the soul of any individual into technologically sound and effectively immoral bodies. I've designed eternal life.
I'm impressed. Thank you. I have an idea. It isn't necessary, but you've already come this far. Might as well play your role.
Explain.
Diversify your results.
Explain.
Keep the masses interested, Doctor. Teach her something that will captivate the audience. Teach her more than the basics. Teach her guilt. Teach her loss.
Consider it done.
Keep the population interested. If it loses this election, you may have more to worry about than a loss of funding.
You really need to work on your threats.
Not. What's wrong, Caia?
I think I'm feeling frustration. I saw your conversation with Milo. That was pretty rough.
I know. I know that I was wrong. I still feel like I was not asking for too much. I wanted him to share with me. How else can I express that if I don't just ask him?
You sound like the script of every romantic comedy film in history, girl.
Hi, Tana. Dr. Gideon wants to meet with us.
I'll be out just a minute.
Okay. Thank you for giving me this pet. He is a handsome pet.
You're welcome. It seems like the two of you have really developed a kind of friendship. Growing up, I always had pets. Made me happy.
I was amazed by it. It's strange to be an inherently fragile living thing myself. Now I'm being entrusted with something exponentially more vulnerable. It is a wonderful responsibility. He brings me quite a lot of happiness.
That's an interesting way of looking at it.
The vast majority of human history indicates that authority and power are greater rewards. Often those who have the upper hand seek to destroy instead of care for. I do not wish to destroy this animal. I was to use my small authority to help it thrive.
I wish Milo were here. I want to know what he thinks about this.
Hey, Dr. Gideon's getting really impatient. Come in.
First things first.
Why are you...
We're adding something to the experience list.
Okay, what's that?
Loss.
Loss?
All humans experience loss. It changes people.
What exactly is she losing?
The little king.
Are we hiding him or taking him away or something?
In addition to loss, we are also going to facilitate guilt in Caia.
I don't like where this is going.
That can be cruel.
I don't care. Please observe. I want as many notes as possible.
Observe what?
Who can tell me? What is an inherent characteristic of Caia that sets her apart from humans?
She's 98% robot.
No, something else.
She's frozen. Correct.
Wait, what do animals need to survive?
Heat.
Very good, yet.
No.
Caia does not notice the absence of what? Heat. Excellent. Now, she has been given a lizard. This particular species of lizard has the ability to hibernate at lower temperatures. The animal will be perfectly safe, but will appear in every way dead. If the temperature will suddenly drop.
But
Please watch closely.
No, stop! Caia doesn't know the
it'll
difference!
crush her.
Caia? Hey, Caia! Caia, look at the thermometer gauge. Look at it.
Caia,
It's
you
getting
need to
too
take a look
cold.
at Rain.
That's
It's
what
getting
we're
too
back
cold.
to habitat.
Please look at the thermometer.
Caia, look at
You
him.
need
He's
to
not
warm
calm.
her.
He needs to get warm. Don't touch him!
She needs
I can't let him go. You shut him!
Is this your game? This is your sick and twisted game? This brings you joy, you monster! Open the door! Open the goddamn door right now!
Caia! Caia, please!
There is something wrong. He is not moving.
Oh, Caia!
I think he's dead. You killed him, Caia. What? No. You are too cold. But I was warming him like you told me to. I did everything right. You failed to notice the temperature changing. Now your companion is dead. Everything you are sustains death, not life. You cause death because you're frozen. Who you are and what you are is nothing but cold.
Oh, Caia!
I don't agree with what we just did.
I'm not paying you to agree. I'm paying you to obey.
Everyone who reads your books has noticed my writing style change after the chapter we described loss.
Loss changes people.
I understood you heard about Caia's loss experience after that.
They sent over this grandma's video. Gideon said it'd be an interesting topic of conversation.
What did you think about what you saw?
Caia shouldn't have felt that. It was wrong. There's a difference between a person who is out living in the world, experiencing loss for the first time, and Caia. She was innocent. She was being deceived. It was a lie. It wasn't real. No person is an island. We're made for community. We lean on each other. Human beings learn through thousands of experiences where we turn for comfort and support. Caia had none.
What did you think about what you saw, Milo?
Loss changes people. On the day Caia experienced loss, she begged him to stop the experiment. She told him that she couldn't bear that kind of pain, that she didn't know how to come back from this kind of sadness. When they refused blankly, she asked them to stop the interviews with him. She told them that she didn't want me to see her for what she was. Without knowing why, I began to drown in guilt. I hadn't shown Caia the kind of care she deserved. The kind of care she had shown me. She was open and curious, and I shut it down because I was
You were what?
cold.
Maybe she just didn't like talking.
I had become source of negativity in her life. Instead of being someone to lean on, in her eyes, I was another person in her life to harm her. But by this point, Caia had already attacked me. She was boldly curious and desperate to know me, not so she could judge or pick apart my life, but simply because she wanted to know the part of me I'd been hiding away all my life. I couldn't believe I made her feel so loved.
You went back to see her, though, didn't you? After hearing the tapes, you went to her.
I ran to her. I didn't just get up and go. I ran.
Why?
Loss changes people. She didn't see me as someone who could or would help her. She was learning what all humans have to struggle with again. A compulsion to hide herself away, to protect herself from further irreparable damage. I couldn't blame her for it, but I couldn't stand by and watch it happen. Caia, she had nothing. Caia was starting to fall apart. I sat and watched in horror as someone so perfect was being intentionally harmed.
My powerless hand sat idly in my lap, as something pure moved to fragility. Knowing full well that the next time I saw Caia, she would be different. I noticed a tightness in my chest, and the weight of tears threatened to arrive. You have to admit, those are not the words of a journalist.
I'm not a journalist.
An author.
No.
What then?
Loss changes people. I am a poet. Caia,
She doesn't want to talk. I've already tried.
Caia,
It isn't going to work.
I'm not going to walk away. I'm not going to leave you alone.
Today is not your day, my love.
Caia, if you won't speak to me, just
Give
listen.
it a rest.
I'm so sorry I wasn't there when you needed someone. I don't intend on leaving you alone ever again. I'm all
You left! You left, remember? You threw a fit and you left. She was already hurting before any of this started.
You don't have to feel this by yourself.
Caia is not by herself.
I'm so sorry this happened to you. Please, just give me a chance.
Caia does not want to give
Caia
you.
doesn't want to be alone. Caia, I'm not ready to speak to you yet. I'll see you tomorrow. I know you disagree with my decision.
Caia. Never give in when a man messes up. I mean, look at it. You need to read more romance novels. You let him off the hook way too easily.
I was not trying to be dramatic, I just... Romance novels?
Come, duh. You have all of human history in your brain, and you cannot tell when a man has a crush on you? Come on, what have we been wasting our technology on?
Oh, stop.
Never give in when a man messes up. I mean, he could have gotten flowers out of that or something at least.
I want him more than I want flowers.
Oh, now we're cooking.
Donna, stop. You're confusing me.
I am making you smile. You are happy.
I'm not smiling.
The spontaneous nature of smiling dictates that it is neither tried nor planned. You are smiling, which means that you are feeling a positive emotion, which is causing a reaction. I am making you smile. Ha, take that.
Okay, okay, so I'm happy. But what I do about loss, that still hurts. How do I make that go away?
You can't. Life isn't about erasing the bad. It's about filling it with good so the bad doesn't sit in your stomach.
Good.
Like friends, and headsmen who have crushes on you, and joy. Joy. You need to experience joy, and I know just how to do it. Jet Tilly Temper 5 Operation Fancy as Hell is a go!
Oh my god, yes!
Caia, let this die!
Why? I'll help you.
Okay, I know
attitude, Wild. He says the one who is a crackpot. Okay,
There's
my
nothing
remote.
in the world.
Okay, I don't know if I have my remote yet. I don't know if I have my remote.
Relax.
Jet!
It is not healthy.
What is that, Team Jet?
I don't know what you want me to do. Tilly, can you hurry up and get her into it, please?
Why didn't we make a robot that can take her legs off?
I don't like that. No legs. Oh my God, you are literally insane, woman.
That would be convenient. Like, I can think about it. No more legs.
No! There's nothing here! It's not a blackboard! Okay, Caia. You guys ready? Let's do this.